Stop everything and listen to this. Pam Bondi, the former Attorney General of Florida, has just been fined in court, not for her arguments, not for her conduct, but for the clothes she was wearing. Yes, you heard that right, her outfit stopped an entire courtroom, shocked a judge, and left everyone speechless. This isn't just a headline, it's one of the most unbelievable legal stories you'll hear this year. Unbelievable but true, Pam Bondi, the former Florida Attorney General, has once again landed in the spotlight, but this time, it's not because of a powerful courtroom argument, a big political move, or even a controversial case. Instead, she is making headlines for something far more surprising: her outfit. Yes, you heard that right. It was her clothing choice that captured all the attention, disrupted court proceedings, and left people both inside and outside the courtroom absolutely stunned. According to reports, Bondi walked confidently into the courtroom, ready to handle business as usual. With years of experience behind her, no one doubted her ability to deliver strong arguments or stand her ground. But within minutes, everything shifted. The judge, instead of listening to her legal points, immediately turned his attention to what she was wearing. It wasn't a minor side comment either, it was serious enough to stop the session in its tracks. Imagine being in that courtroom. The atmosphere is tense, everyone is focused, witnesses and lawyers are ready, and suddenly, everything freezes, not because of evidence, not because of a witness's shocking statement, but because the judge decides Bondi's attire is inappropriate. Gasps spread through the room, whispers filled the air, and the case itself seemed to vanish from importance in that very moment. For someone as high-profile as Pam Bondi, this was more than just an awkward moment. It was the beginning of a story that would spread quickly, drawing public curiosity, criticism, and debate. So, what exactly happened that day in court? To understand why this story blew up, we have to look at the rules of the courtroom. Unlike casual public spaces, courtrooms are governed by tradition, formality, and respect. Everyone who steps in, from lawyers to witnesses, is expected to follow a strict dress code. This isn't just about looking sharp, it's about maintaining the dignity of the judicial process. Judges want the focus to remain on facts, evidence, and legal arguments, not on someone's outfit. Now, according to witnesses and reports, Pam Bondi showed up in attire that the judge deemed inappropriate. While the exact description of her clothing hasn't been fully confirmed, it was reportedly too casual or outside the norm of what is typically acceptable. For someone who spent years as Florida's Attorney General, it came as a shock that she would face such a criticism, especially from the bench. What makes this even more dramatic is the way the judge handled it. This wasn't a quiet whisper or a behind-the-scenes reminder. It was a public call-out. Bondi was singled out in front of the entire courtroom. People present say the room went silent as the judge delivered his remarks, highlighting that court rules apply to absolutely everyone, no exceptions, no excuses. The case itself was momentarily overshadowed by this incident. Instead of legal debates making headlines, it was Pam Bondi's outfit that stole the spotlight and triggered a wave of curiosity outside the courtroom. Now here's where the story takes an even more unbelievable turn. Pam Bondi wasn't just warned, and she wasn't simply asked to step aside and fix the issue. No, she was actually fined by the court. That's right, a monetary penalty handed down to a high-profile figure, not for her legal arguments or conduct in a case, but purely for her choice of clothing. While the amount of the fine wasn't massive compared to legal penalties in other contexts, it carried enormous weight in terms of symbolism. Fines like this are rare. In fact, most of the time when someone violates courtroom dress codes, judges simply issue a reminder or ask the person to correct the attire. But for Pam Bondi, a well-known legal and political figure, the decision was different. The judge's message was clear: rules are rules, and no one is above them. What stunned people even more was how the fine quickly became the headline, overshadowing the very case she was there to argue. Media outlets jumped on the story immediately. For reporters, it was a perfect mix of drama, irony, and controversy. How could a former attorney general, someone who knows courtroom etiquette inside and out, end up being fined like a first-time visitor who didn't know the rules. In that moment, Bondi's credibility and professionalism were put under the microscope. And while the fine may have been small in dollars, the impact on her public image was huge. Once the news broke, reactions poured in from every corner: media commentators, legal experts, everyday citizens, and of course, social media users who never miss a chance to debate something unusual. And let's just say, people were divided. On one side, many defended Pam Bondi. They argued that the fine was excessive and unnecessary, especially for someone of her background. They pointed out that courtrooms should be focused on justice, evidence, and fairness, not fashion policing. Supporters believed the judge overreacted, turning a minor issue into a public spectacle. Some even suggested that Bondi was singled out unfairly, perhaps because of her political profile. On the other side, critics were quick to clap back. They emphasized that the courtroom isn't just any place, it's a sacred space where respect and tradition matter. They argued that if ordinary citizens have to follow dress codes, then powerful figures like Bondi must do so too, without exception. For them, the fine wasn't just appropriate, it was necessary to prove that everyone is held to the same standard. Then came the internet's reaction. Social media platforms lit up with jokes, memes, and heated debates. Some mocked the idea of a fine for clothing, while others praised the judge's strict stance. Hashtags trended, and what started as a courtroom moment quickly turned into a national conversation about respect, authority, and appearances. At the end of the day, this wasn't just about one outfit. It became a reflection of larger issues: fairness, accountability, and whether the rules really apply equally to all. So, what lessons can we take away from this unusual and unforgettable courtroom drama? First, it's a reminder that appearances matter, especially in professional settings. Courtrooms aren't like casual spaces where you can wear whatever you want. They demand respect, and that respect is shown not only through words and actions, but also through presentation. Pam Bondi's fine proved that no matter how experienced, famous, or powerful someone is, they are still bound by the same rules as everyone else. Second, this story highlights how quickly public attention can shift. What should have been a straightforward legal proceeding turned into a viral moment because of something as simple as clothing. It shows how even the smallest details can capture headlines and spark national debates. Finally, it serves as a cautionary tale for public figures. Every action, every choice, even down to wardrobe, can be magnified, criticized, and turned into a story that overshadows everything else. For Bondi, a career filled with major legal and political battles is now, at least in part, remembered for this bizarre fine. In the end, whether you see the fine as fair or excessive, one thing is certain: this story won't be forgotten anytime soon. It's a powerful reminder that in the courtroom, the rules don't bend for anyone, not even Pam Bondi. And that's the unbelievable story of how Pam Bondi ended up fined in court for nothing more than her outfit. It's a reminder that no matter who you are, the rules still apply, especially inside a courtroom. But what do you think? Was the judge right to hand out a fine, or was this completely over the top? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, because I'd love to hear your take on it. If you found this story as shocking as I did, don't forget to hit that like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe for more unbelievable stories just like this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.